So in this video, we're going to talk about solving equations, and the way that we're going to do it is with the additive property of equality. And basically what we want to think of is our equation is kind of like a seesaw, right? So if you think about a seesaw, if you do something to one side, so if somebody sits down on the left-hand side, right, the seesaw would go down, and so to balance it out, we would have to put somebody of the exact same weight on the right-hand side, and then your seesaw is going to stay completely level. So that's what we need to do with solving equations. So for example, if we're trying to solve the following for x, so solve the following equations. So my first one here, x plus 3 equals 7. So if you notice that here the x is sitting with a plus 3. And so since the x is here with the plus 3, what we want to do is we want to take this plus 3 and we want to move it to the other side. So mathematically moving is basically, if we're adding 3, the way we would get rid of 3 is we would subtract 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 from the left-hand side. But here's where my equal sign is. So if we think about my equal sign is kind of like this triangle up here in the seesaw. It's that middle point. So whatever we do on the left of the equal sign, we also have to do on the right of the equal sign. So I'm also going to subtract 3 on the right-hand side. And so now, the left-hand side, you're left with x. And on the right-hand side, 7 minus 3 would give you 4. And the cool thing about solving equations is you can always check your answer. So we can check to see if it works by checking, does 4 plus 3, does that actually turn out to be equal to 7? And yes, 4 plus 3 is 7. So that does work out, which makes us happy and everything works fine. So let's look at some more examples. So here's another one. Maybe I have y minus 1 equals 6. So again, my variable here is the y. It's on the left-hand side, and I want to get it all alone. The thing that is with it is here is this minus 1. So I'm going to get rid of the minus 1, so we're going to do the opposite. So again, think about that equal sign, and I have to do the same thing to the left and to the right. So if I add 1 on the left-hand side, then I'm going to have to add 1 on the right-hand side. And so now that I've done the same thing on both sides, on this side, negative 1 and 1, we're just left with the y because the negative 1 and the 1 cancel each other out. And on this side, so we still have that equal sign, 6 plus 1 is 7. So our final answer here is y equals 7. And again, if you went back to the original equation and checked, right, and I plug 7 in here for y, 7 minus 1 does in fact equal 6, so it works out perfectly. So we'll do one more of these, and there's a bunch of topics in ALEKS that use the same technique, so you're going to get a lot of practice with it. So maybe 10 is equal to v minus 7. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is look at my equation. I want to find the variable. The variable here is the v. I want to get the v all by itself. So to do that, I need to get rid of that minus 7. So if we're subtracting 7, the opposite of that would be to add 7. And again, whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I have to do on the other. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So 10 plus 7 is 17 equals, here the minus 7 and the 7 go away, and so we're just left with v. So in our case, v equals 17. That's that final answer. And again, you can always check it. So 10, does that equal 17 minus 7? Yeah, it does, right? 17 minus 7 does turn out to be 10. So the nice thing about equations is you can always check your answer, so you always know right away whether you were right or wrong.